You work hard and you expect to get paid, but what happens if your boss stiffs you on salary?
Now, tonight, Keith King has a call for action investigation that reveals what you can do if your employer refuses to pay up. Keith?
Mark, Krista, our investigation began when a woman contacted Call for Action saying she was owed thousands of dollars from a former employer. She took legal action and got help from the Kansas Department of Labor, but she still can't collect, and she's certainly not alone. Sandra Wooler contacted Call for Action because her former boss owes her money. A lot of money.
I wouldn't be working if I didn't need to work. So the fact that, I'm out $15,000 was a major blow.
In 2009, Wooler worked as a physical therapist for Integrative Therapy Concepts, LLC in Overland Park. The rehabilitation clinic provided pain management outpatient therapy to people such as cancer patients. It was owned and operated by this woman, Cheryl Morgan. 5 months after starting the job, Wooler realized there was a problem.
I thought it would be a great opportunity. I'm close to home. I'm making the salary that I want to make. My hours are still very flexible. And then all hell broke loose.
Wooler says she started to receive paychecks late. The one she got bounced. Wooler left the job. She turned to the Kansas Department of Labor and filed a wage claim. Months later, in this ruling, the Labor Department found Cheryl Morgan, Morgan's brother, and ITC jointly and severely liable and ordered them to pay wages, interest, and penalties totaling $23,657. That was in 2009. Today, with interest and fees, the bill comes to nearly $30,000. Wooler is still waiting to get paid. Morgan has not paid her back.
It was just so emotionally draining, and then knowing that someone would take such advantage of me.
Wooler is hardly alone when it comes to being stiffed by an employer. Last year, the Kansas Department of Labor received over 1,000 wage claims from people out money from bosses. Out of the ones that were resolved, over 400 people did not get their money. In fact, our investigation shows Cheryl Morgan owes money to 2 other past employees, $18,000 to Corey Poor and $7,500 to Charles Harris.
I was 3 paychecks behind before I finally quit. If you're 1 paycheck behind, that's unacceptable anywhere.
Integrative Therapy Concepts is now closed, but the Labor Department still ordered Cheryl Morgan to pay. So what's Morgan doing now?
We provide massage therapy and reflexology, acupuncture, counseling, many professional services that at a cost of about $20 a session.
She is chairman of a local nonprofit organization called Touch by Cancer. According to the organization's website, the foundation assists individuals who have been diagnosed with cancer. This summer, Morgan appeared on NBC Action News at midday promoting the foundation and its fundraisers.
That's where the money goes to, is the individual donations and company support or business support helps us provide the services to the patients in the community.
That day, she was happy to answer our questions, but when I phoned to ask her about money she owes Wooler, Morgan wasn't interested in talking. So I stopped by the Touch by Cancer office.
Cheryl, Keith King with Call for Action. Cheryl, I need to talk to Cheryl.
She wasn't happy to see me and still wouldn't talk.
Hi, Cheryl. Keith King, Call for Action. Are you going to pay back your former employees, Cheryl? Have you been able to collect on any of that money?
No. It's been a very, very slow, prolonged process.
When it comes to forcing employers to pay, the state labor department has some legal muscle, but it's hard to flex. The department can garnish money from an employer, but sources within the agency tell me they warn clients not to expect a check anytime soon. And companies that owe employees usually have a long list of debts. Cheryl Morgan is no stranger to owing people money. Realty companies and investors in Kansas City have sued Morgan for back rent and investment money. Highwoods Realty, Midwest Cinema Group, and Gold Crown Properties. Court records show Morgan was evicted from an apartment in 2008 and an office last year for not paying rent. She even owes the state of Kansas $16,000 in income tax and over $200,000 in withholding taxes.
It's just been very frustrating to know that I will never be able to retrieve this money in any way, shape, or form, no matter what I do.
And if you are owed money, your options are to contact the U.S. or your state Labor Department or hire a private attorney. The Labor Department does not charge, and they will try to collect your money, especially if it is $10,000 or less. But as you just saw, collecting that cash can be really hard to do.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Now, what's the reaction from the nonprofit group that hired Morgan? Do they know anything about this?
Well, I was able to connect with one of the board members. I spoke to them earlier. He was unaware of Morgan's financial history. He said, though, that Touched by Cancer is a good organization, but that's pretty much all that he really cared to say. Really kind of wanted to not have much to do with this.
Yeah, you feel for all those people.
Wow. All right.